Hey there, friends! I'm Andrew from the Scrapbox, and it's finally the day that Deadpool and Wolverine come out. Have you seen it already? I haven't. Right after this, I'm not wearing a watch, but right after this, I'm gonna go watch it. But, given the fact that Deadpool 3 is finally out, we're gonna make some Lego figures of Deadpool. Specifically because Lego refuses to. The last Deadpool to come out in a set was in 2012. That's 12 years ago. That's way too long.
Today we're going to be making 5 characters from the film, and then maybe a secret 6th character if we're lucky. We'll be designing their outfits, faces, and any sculpted items they may need.
Alright. What are we waiting for? Let's go.
Before we begin, don't forget to like and subscribe to help that YouTube algorithm. Level 2.
What?
While Deadpool in Lego form is a rare occurrence, there have been no shortage of custom or knockoff Deadpool figures. So, in order for this Deadpool to stand out, he's gonna have to be the most accurate one possible. Taking a look at his outfit, we can see its minor changes over the film. I'm taking his torso directly into my image editor to get the most accurate layout I can. Now, I was pretty bummed that Deadpool was going to be a simple figure until I realized we could make him a utility belt. So I threw the belt into Blender and swapped the square buckle for a custom Deadpool one, which I'll resin print later. Back to the design, I spent quite some time trying to squeeze all of the suit's details into a figure and still have it be legible. Overall, I think the torso came out spot on, but as always the legs are a bit more difficult. And I'm not proud to admit it, but I did forget the knife holster in one of his legs. Fun facts. Number 1, Deadpool first appeared in December 1990's New Mutants number 98. Number 2, his name, Wade Wilson, is a parody of a similar DC character, Slade Wilson. And number 3, Deadpool is Canadian. Great, I've stalled just long enough to finish the torso, the legs, and the face. Now we're going to send them off to the printer.
These designs will be transferred using water slide decals, which, while not the best quality, are the most accessible. So we'll be using them unless somebody wants to give me a UV printer. It's beautiful. Oh. One day. But until that day, we're gonna use water slide decals.
And to do so, we'll use a blank figure, take them apart, sand them, and decal them. His belt came out nicely, so I'm gonna paint it up, and then we're gonna put the whole thing together and take a final look. Overall, I think this Deadpool is very well done. He's detailed, but not cluttered. I love his belt, and he's movie accurate. I wish I could have done some arm printing. The shoulders are painted. And his front and side leg printing don't quite match, but you live and you learn. 8 out of 10.
So that was Deadpool from Deadpool 3, but it's not called Deadpool 3, it's called Deadpool and Wolverine. So we gotta make Wolverine, of course. Where else was this gonna head? Let's make Wolverine.
I still can't believe we're actually getting Hugh Jackman in his yellow suit.
Perfection.
With Wolverine, we're gonna start with his face. And you'll probably notice me using another Lego figure as a reference. Why? Because of this. Can you tell which one of these is a Lego figure and which one is a knockoff? Hopefully you picked this one as the knockoff, and the reason being is Lego has a signature style. When making your own custom Lego prints, it looks much better if your face design fits in with the Lego design scheme. It's sort of an uncanny valley alternative figures sometimes fall into, and Lego's been there once or twice themselves.
You are the chosen one!
I have special eyes.
That's why you can see me directly mapping a known Lego face, as well as referencing many different figures with facial hair to come up with a good Hugh Jackman. The rest of his body went very similarly to Deadpool's. And after completing the torso and legs, I discovered 2 problems. 1, the hair, and 2, the claws. For the hair, this might be controversial. Lego has used this piece for Wolverine's stylized hair. I hope we can all agree that this is not that. And therefore, I'm giving him piece 98, 38, 5 in dark brown. It's the closest we're gonna get. The claws, on the other hand, are another story. LEGO usually uses these hideous, ginormous claws for Wolverine, and I can't let that slide. So, on the verge of breaking my own rule, I made a not very LEGO-like piece when I designed these claws. They go around the arm and oh, the arms can't go down. Huh. I designed these claws, which clip around the arm and wrist. They have claws out mode and no claws mode. Now, let's take all of Wolverine's parts and put them together.
First appearing in The Incredible Hulk 180, once switched bodies with Spider-Man, and was almost named the Badger. It's Wolverine!
Not bad, not bad. This Wolverine is ready to claw his way into trouble. I like everything. The scowl, the fit, the claws. If I had to pick something I don't like, the pelvis is slightly off-colored, and the X belt buckle needs more contrast. But I give it a 9 out of 10. Okay, we've got our two main protagonists, but there's one more that we have to make. It would be absolutely unacceptable if we didn't make Dogpool. Because he's so ugly it's cute. And therefore we have to make one.
In the film, it seems like Dogpool is more Chihuahua-sized, but it'd be incredibly difficult to get good detail on that scale, so I went with a French Bulldog instead. I'm going to be sculpting on a tongue, goggles, and the rest of the outfit before printing and painting him. Dogpool first appeared in 2010's Prelude to Deadpool Core's number 3. He was once part of a circus act, and he originally looked like this. Luckily, our Dogpool is looking much better than that, and with a print and a fresh coat of paint, he's ready for his glamour shots. I love him. He's got all that extra detail, but still feels like something LEGO would make. No complaints. 10 out of 10. No, 11 out of 10.
With our plethora of protagonists complete, we gotta have some bad guys.
Usually in media, there are two types of enemies. One, your grunts, your street thugs, your minions. These are the enemies that can be squashed with a swift kick of the boot. And then you have your big bads. The enemies that have you screaming,
No, God! No, God, please, no!
Let's take a look at Deadpool 3's TVA agents. They're huddled in a group, they all look the same, and they're easily dispatched.
I'm classifying the TVA agents as the street thugs. Alright, let's go make some.
And by some, I mean 3, because you always need multiple grunts. 2 will have their visors down, and 1 will have it up, which is why I'm using this trooper helmet as a base. With some slight modifications, and the addition of a TVA logo, these helmets are ready to go. Their armor is LEGO space armor with a weird hole in it, and the TVA logo stamped on there. Fun fact, the TVA first appeared in 1986's Thor 372. They've held many trials for heroes such as She-Hulk, and they were first mentioned in live action during Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., whose chronocoms were based on the TVA's chronomonitors. Armor's done, let's print and paint. The bodies of the TVA agents will be bright orange pants, black torso, and orange arms. Thank you, plethora of safety workers. Let me finish up this paint and then we'll take a final look. For grunts, I think they're good. They're distinct, intimidating, and great for army building. The cons, I wish I had detailed the legs, and I couldn't match the bright orange paint. Overall, 7 out of 10.
With our small army of little TVA agents out of the way, it's time to make the big bad Cassandra Nova.
It was really hard to find good photos of Cassandra's outfit, but I did my best, and I extrapolated details based on what I saw. Cassandra is a Mumudrai, a spirit that's the polar opposite of someone. Charles Xavier is good, so Cassandra must be evil. Fun fact too, Cassandra is violent at all ages. In the film, she appears young. However, in the comics, she is incredibly old. That hasn't stopped her from wreaking havoc upon the multiverse, and even as a baby, she has a death battle with Charles in their mother's stomach. Fun fact 3, she once possessed Charles's body. How fun. The torso seems pretty spot on. And her legs are going to be the dual molded dark tan and brown boots. For the head, I'll steal Kate Waterston's face. For the trench coat, I had to buy all this fabric just to use a little scrap make a back skirt piece. Let's take a look. Mixed emotions. She's got a great torso, wonderful facial expression, and a terrifying demeanor. But I do not like the trench coat piece. Too many frays. I wonder how LEGO makes their cape pieces. 7 out of 10.
So I've got all these figures now, but what do I do with them? Do I just leave them be? No!
And so my epic journey began. My mission to recreate that scene from the trailers, where Wolverine and Deadpool are cool slow motion walking in front of those shops.
That's the guy who can't draw feet. I planned it all out on stud.io, or studio, then took what pieces I had in the real world to make it.
Wow!
It took a bit to get the crosswalk right, but I think I've got it. Oh, can't forget the donut cart. Alright, insert copyright-free 80s music.
But wait, there is
one other whom
Andrew.
would again.
Customize.
Now, since I haven't seen the movie yet, there were a lot of figures I wanted to make, but couldn't, because either they didn't fully appear in the trailers, or they appeared in such a way where it was just their head. For instance, Sabretooth. I wanted to make him, but I didn't know what his outfit looked like. But there was one that I wasn't going to make because it only showed the legs until just a couple days ago when they revealed... Wow! So let's make Lady Deadpool.
I first tried taking some long wavy hair and the top ponytail from the CMF Orc figure, then combining them. I was hoping to get a cute little sway up top, and it rests nicely on her shoulder. But as you can see, the final product, well, it's hideous. So instead, I just took some wavy hair and carved away the excess. Looks a lot nicer. Her legs were interesting because I had the fun challenge of making heels look natural to the LEGO form. And then I made sure that the front and side leg patterns were going to actually line up this time. Hey, learn from your mistakes. For the torso, you could see me use a previous design to help map out the curves of the figure, and given her outfit is much simpler than Deadpool's, I figured I could show that her outfit is shinier than his. But I got about that far, then decided it'd probably be better for humanity if I didn't continue. So non-shiny version it is. I printed out the decals, applied them to a blank figure, and then created this. An excellent final piece. Classic look, the patterns line up, and the hair works really well. I did have some problems with the water slide decals this time, as you can see on the edges, and by the bump in the front torso. Overall, 8 out of 10.
And there you have it. All of the Deadpool LEGO figures that I could fit in this
15-minute
time frame. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if there's a character you really want to see me make. I'll try to make it. Not the giant Paul Rudd Ant-Man. I know LEGO figures are small, but he'd be like this big. I can't. Something else. Let me know in the comments. And while you're down there, like, subscribe. They're here. I figured it out, maybe. I'm pointing in the wrong place, aren't I? It doesn't matter. Make sure to like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Ring the bell so you know exactly when I post my videos, because you're weird like that, and so am I. I've been Andrew. You've been watching the Scrap Box. Make sure to have yourself a wonderful day, and don't forget to throw away your popcorn bucket. Don't leave it in the movie theater. All right, have a good one. Bye.